This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. I have a very special guest on the podcast today named Nashali Alma. That's correct on pronunciation, right?
It's Nashali.
Nashali, excuse me. Nashali is a college student and an NPC Wellness Competitor. She actually became kind of famous, reluctantly famous recently for fighting back against an attacker at an apartment gym in Tampa. And now she is starting a nonprofit about women's empowerment called Never Give Up. But welcome, I really appreciate you coming on board and speaking with me today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Thank you. If you could just give like a little background on what happened for folks who are not aware of what happened to you and when it happened.
So this incident happened on January 22nd. It was a Sunday night around 9:30 p.m. I was just working out at my apartment gym complex. In the middle of my workout, a gentleman knocked on the door. I've seen him once around the gym apartment complex, so I let him in. And shortly afterwards, it went from me working out to being assaulted into the gym. So a young man approached me and tried to grab my waist. I pushed him back and everything. I told him, "What the F are you doing? Get away from me." And we kind of ended up on the other side of the gym where we kind of started wrestling on the ground for a little bit, but I was able to fight him off and escape.
And that the video kind of went viral. I think it kind of hit the news a few weeks later. Is that right?
Yeah. So the video didn't go out until about 2 weeks later. And it went super viral. Like I went from like 4K followers on Instagram to 43,000 followers. Like, and it's still growing, it's still moving.
Wow, that's amazing. It must have been really scary to be attacked like that. What was going through your mind when he attacked you?
So I wasn't really scared. I was at first when he first approached me because he didn't say a single word to me for a little bit. So it was kind of silence and just me yelling at him, like, "What are you doing?" So I was kind of confused as to what was going on. But then I realized, obviously, when we reached the other side of the gym, that he was trying to sexually assault me. And I went from being confused to like fighter mode. Like, okay, I'm gonna make sure this man does not get what he wants. I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna get through this. And like that fearfulness, like it just vanished from my brain. It was just all just fight mode.
Wow, it must have been scary though. I was curious, have you generally felt safe at that apartment complex gym and in other areas of the apartment complex before?
I mean, yeah, because I've always went to that gym every weekend, and I still do. It hasn't stopped me one bit, but obviously I am more cautious. But yeah.
And is that, I know as a bodybuilder, is that your primary gym, or do you have like another gym in Tampa that you go to?
I do have another gym I go to. It's called UFit. I come here. It's in like Carrollwood area, Tampa area.
Yeah.
So that's my main gym right now. But on the weekends when I work, they close early, so I just go to my apartment complex gym because it's convenient for me. So I just go there for my nighttime workouts.
Okay, that's cool. I was curious, like, what does it feel like to have kind of instant fame from that video release? Because didn't it kind of go international, I think, with the coverage?
It did, yeah. It basically went like all around the world, from Brazil to France to everywhere. And I've gotten millions of DMs from everyone from around the world saying like I'm a complete badass, that I'm awesome, I'm their hero. Like I've inspired so many women, and I'm very proud to release the video because it has empowered so many women to come forward, share their stories, and to just start working on the gym or taking self-defense classes to improve themselves, to be strong-minded, strong-willed. And that was my take into the video. Like I would hope to inspire others, and I'm glad it did.
That's terrific. No, I think you did. You really inspired a lot of people. And also I think made people aware to be, just careful at the gym you were the only one there at the time, I guess, right? And the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the only one there, and usually I am the only one there, and sometimes it's just one other person there with me. And unfortunately that night I let someone in, just being a kind person, and he turned out to try to assault me, but luckily I left a good mark on him. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that must have been scary though.
Well, so it wasn't scary at the moment, but like 2 days later, I was at work and I'm a medical lab tech. So I deal with hands-on with needles and blood work and stuff. So I was doing some blood work and in the middle of doing some disc of and like inserting blood into a disc, my body just kind of shut down. I just froze and I started bawling. And my coworker like ran towards me, oh my God, oh my God. She took me to the back and she sent me home and I cried for like 8 hours straight. The adrenaline finally kicked down. It was gone, and so my basically my mind, my body said, all right, it's reality time, like you actually were assaulted, like this is happening to you. And I
Mm.
cried like 8 hours straight. But afterwards, with the encouragement of my friends and my family, my boyfriend, all just being so supportive,
Mhm.
to get it out, basically, I felt a lot better.
That's really good. Yeah. That must have been weird though, to have that, because you didn't know that that was going to kind of strike you 2 days later. So
Yeah, because
yeah,
I was so high on adrenaline and
yeah.
I didn't think it would last that long, but 2 days afterwards, it just all came out once.
Mm. Wow, that makes sense though. I was curious, now that you're kind of famous, is it hard to keep up with social media? Because, you must have had a bunch of DMs and just a bunch of posts and comments that came through kind of rapid fire.
Oh yeah. At first it was a little difficult to maintain, but now I'm getting the groove of sorting out all my messages, comments and likes and everything, or people who are tagging me and stuff. Like I'm really good at organizing all of it now. So like if someone messaged me, they want to interview me or something, I see it, or someone commenting or compliments me or something, I see that too. And
Mm.
then I just the rest of it just goes trash.
Oh yeah, I bet. Right, it goes some haters too. Just there's some nasty trolls out there, and
No, you would be
Yeah.
surprised. I haven't probably like out of what 1 million out of two messages. I've only gotten like two messages that were negative, but other than that, I have yet to see any negatives. It's more like women being empowered and sharing their story, or some dudes being, thirsty and stuff and trying to slide in my DMs. But
Uh-huh.
it's just all positivity, like overall.
That's really cool. That's I'm really glad to hear that, because
Yeah.
yeah, because social media can be just a wasteland of trolls sometimes. So,
It can be, but luckily, I think the positivity kind of overpowered all the negativity. If I wanted to see it, I can't even see it.
That's great. Now tell me about the Never Give Up campaign that you're working on now, and what's the mission of the campaign?
So yeah, so we started the GoFundMe for it's called Never Give Up. So there's a couple of things I obviously want to get down and reach my goals with. The first thing is to enact legislation on sexual assault,
Mhm.
because victims have to deal with this for a lifetime sentence, and their attackers walk these streets freely with no fear of doing it again. And
Mhm.
I feel like these attackers need to have that fear. If I do this, I get a lifetime sentence, because they deserve a lifetime sentence.
Yeah.
Because you're put on this earth and you took that chance and you ruined someone's life like that, or you scarred them. You should be scarred also and have a lifetime sentence. So that's one of my first goals.
Mhm.
And shortly afterwards, obviously, in the Tampa area, I want to open my first all women's gym and
Yeah.
offer free self-defense classes within the gym. And I want these women to really take these classes and really be empowered and strong-minded, that they're able to be confident on the streets, so that they can handle any situation they're ever put in.
Great.
So that's my goal, and hopefully 3 years, maybe 4 years down the road, I can open more gyms around Florida, St. Pete area. St. Pete's next, but but all around Florida and stuff, and hopefully maybe out of state too, just really get the movement going.
That's terrific. Yeah, I saw you had partnered with UFit gyms about doing self-defense classes that I think happened this past weekend. Is that right? Or is it coming up?
So it starts next week on March 21st. I'll be there as like one of the co-hosts there to say hey everyone. But it starts on March 21st and it goes all the way through April 1st.
Great. That's terrific. I think
Mhm.
that's really awesome. And
Yeah.
I'll include that WFLA story down in the comments below and YouTube, so that people can see them. But yeah, I think that's terrific.
Yeah,
Um,
it really is. It was nice of them because they reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, we want to do this for you and be part of your movement. It's not about them; it's about you and your movement, empowering women." I was like, "I'm so down for it," and they were really open about it.
that's terrific. That's so cool. Yeah, and that's WFLA is really good. I think they do a good job.
Mhm.
And I was curious, well, you actually mentioned the about the all women's gym, but have you had a good response on that concept? And the only other thing I can think of that's used to be advertised as all women's gyms is Shapes. I don't know and they're not even really much around anymore, but they used to be a chain of gyms. But I don't, since most of them are closed now, I don't think there's many all women's gyms even out there, are there?
Yeah, I haven't heard Shapes, and if there's some around here, I haven't seen or heard of them. But yeah, there's not enough all women's gym, and I feel like, women would be more comfortable and, more empowered around just other women. It just feels more comforting, and I feel like a lot of women should have that opportunity to be in just an all women's gym. That's just how I might partake on that, but
I think that would make sense, and women might feel more comfortable, and maybe even feel more comfortable initially going to the gym.
Yes,
You
because
know,
I know a lot of them, when they go to the gym at first, they feel like they're being judged and everything, just by other men staring, or they feel like they're being watched. I just feel like this all women's gym would help them build the confidence to come to the gym, start working out more. Like I said, taking these self-defense classes, they would feel more confident walking these streets, because it could happen anywhere, and like, for my example, it happened in my apartment gym complex. So this situation, it can happen anywhere. I just feel like if women were more prepared and stuff, they would just be more confident in the situation.
sure, that's great. No, I think that's really, really positive that you're doing that. And you have a GoFundMe page too, so I'll make sure to link to that too for your. Yeah, I think that's terrific that what you're doing.
Thank you.
My next few questions are just how you got started in bodybuilding. I was curious, did you have an athletic or sports background before you started? And I should mention, as I mentioned before, you do NPC Wellness contests, right?
Yes. So 2 years ago, I was just working out regularly, just doing a in and out gym, like lifestyle. And then shortly afterwards, 2 years in exactly, I saw a, a male bodybuilder who's doing a classic physique. And I asked him, like, why are you so big? Like, what are you doing? And he openly told me, he's just classic physique, and he was explaining what it was and the leak and everything. And he looked at me and was like, you would be a really great fit for wellness. I said, what do you mean? And he showed me some pictures and stuff. And I was like, these girls are huge. I don't think I can do this. And he goes, you have the shape, you have the body, just go for it.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So we went for the first show, and the first show, it was hilarious. So my very first show was Daytona Classic.
Okay.
And I was late to the stage. And they announced my name, and the judge is like, oh, it's great to see you want to come on board to the stage. And I get on there and everything. He's like, you'll do your individual posing at the end. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And so I think he knocked off points for me for being late.
Oh,
And
no.
yeah. So I ended up getting third place in that show.
Great.
And the year afterwards, or last year, I think, last year, I did another show. I placed second, and then I did another show in July. I placed first.
Wow.
So I placed first in a novice, and then Class B. And so this year we kind of took from July all the way off till, I want to say, November of this year. We're gonna try to hit for nationals, go straight for nationals, and go for it.
That's terrific. Wow, congratulations. Yeah, that's in Orlando too. So that's going to be
that'd be very convenient for me.
Yeah, that's a really good show. Have you been to nationals before to see the
No, I've only watched this nationals on TV and stuff, but I haven't been in person.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll be there in person competing. So
one thing that's neat about nationals, I think, because there's amateur competitors there, but there's the big screen on both sides. So you're like huge up on the big screen. So I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, you're seen everywhere. I'm like, oh. But I'm really excited because the coach I'm with right now, we're really pushing for my diet. So we're doing a lot of cardio, a lot of hard dieting right now to see how my body's kind of progressing. So far we're doing pretty good. So
that's terrific. Well, I hope you get your pro card this year. That'll be awesome.
Me too. I hope so.
I was curious, did you, when you first started competing, were you kind of nervous getting up on stage? And do you get nervous these days, would you say?
So no, I think after like my first show when I was late, I still wasn't nervous at all. I got on that stage and I killed it and everything. I think it was due to in high school, I was in an engineering program and we had to present in front of like 200, 300 students. So I got really comfortable talking and presenting in front of a lot of large crowds. So I kind of got used to it. So when my shows came around, I was pretty confident just stepping on stage and just doing my thing.
That's different though, because you're like in a bikini on the wellness stage though. So
It
that,
is different. Yeah, it is different. I still like because I've always had that mindset like when you're on stage, just have fun with it.
yeah,
And I always kept with it. And so whenever I step on stage, I'm having fun. Like win or lose, I did the thing. I did my diet. I did everything right.
yeah,
I got on. I did it.
that's terrific. That's great. And that's good that you feel comfortable like that, because I think, yeah, I don't know, it just seems like it would be a little bit intimidating, of course, but um, now I was curious, like, what is for competition prep? What's like the kind of the toughest aspect of prep for you?
Oh my god, the food.
Yeah,
Like
that,
my last show, we had to really cut because I was putting on a lot of water weight.
hmm,
And we were trying to get 2 gallons of water inside of me and really cut down my food. And I think what 3 days out, I had like nothing but chicken, and I wanted to like destroy the world. I was so like hangry. I wanted food so bad. But I was like,
yeah.
don't worry about it. I would purposely just go to sleep to avoid everything because if I said one wrong thing or heard the wrong thing, I would just blow up. It's
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
understand.
Like, I am a food monster. It's like we're off prep right now. We're eating really good, and
Yeah,
we're about to cut a lot of foods out soon. So I'm like, I'm not ready for it.
yeah, I understand. Oh my gosh, yeah. You said July is around when you would start dieting down and stuff, probably, right?
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
just around July, just to see where the body's hitting,
Hmm.
and then we would probably add in more food slowly back just to make sure we're keeping that mass because wellness is all just glutes and hammies
Yeah,
and a little bit of quad sweeps, but mainly just the glutes. So we got to make sure we keep that mass on.
sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, I was curious, do you kind of have a hard time dealing with that transition between off-season shape and competition shape? Because I personally, as a fan, I like all the phases that the muscle ladies go through, but I know kind of mentally it's kind of tough on the ladies to go through such an abrupt change in kind of a short period of time.
Um, I mean, yes and no. So after my first show, I did have a difficult time dealing with that weight gain. Right after the show, I had to get off that, season prep and get off season.
Mhm.
And in that weight gain, it really hit my body dysmorphia.
Yeah,
And yeah, but then later on, a little pep talk to myself, trying some encouragement. I was like, don't worry about it. It's just, to build and everything. And I just got used to it. So ever since then, I haven't really been hard on myself or really judgmental because this is the way of bodybuilding. You gotta eat to build, and you're gonna look rough a little bit, but it's the purpose of it to look like you're like a Barbie doll on the stage. When you get off stage, you do it again and again and again.
yeah. And it's not really healthy to be so lean year round either. I mean, it's yeah,
Oh, it's not healthy at all. Yeah, some people, I get it. Being that shredded and that look you want all year long, it's not healthy because your body's not adapting to its normal ways as it used to be. So it's like, what's going on? You're
mhm,
basically damaging your body even more.
yeah,
So yeah.
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, I was curious, like, what advice can you give to others who are kind of struggling with competition prep?
Oh man, a lot of things I would say.
Yeah,
Well, first off, eat it. Don't look at the scale. The scale is just a friend. It's supposed to help your coach, not you, your coach.
yeah, uh-huh,
um, and body dysmorphia, remind yourself that this is just temporary. Okay,
yeah,
you can easily lose it, you can easily gain it. It's the way, the process of bodybuilding. You got to remember that it's the process of bodybuilding to get to your goals. To get
mhm.
to your goals, you gotta take it. You gotta suffer. You gotta get through it.
That's a good point. That's good advice. Yeah. I think personally, I think I'm too lazy to do it. I don't know if I'd want to go through all that.
It does take a lot of discipline, to stick to that diet, and for me, for being off season, I've been in off season since last year. So sticking to that diet constantly and not getting like really any cheat meals,
Mhm.
it takes a lot. And like if you really want something, you really want to go for it, you gotta get that discipline, you gotta thrive for it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was curious in terms of, do you have a prep coach right now or a posing coach?
So yeah, I have a prep coach right now. He trains me in person and gives my meals weekly. Um, right now we're on a, like I said, we're about to cut soon with the foods. So I'm not really happy about that. But but as a posing coach, I'm actually hiring one very soon in 2 weeks to practice my posing because it's a little
Great.
rough to do.
Yeah. Could you mention your coach's names? Because we can mention them down below in the comments.
Yeah, so his name is JR. I can send you his tag because I don't know how to spell it.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And then the girl I'm gonna do posing with, her name's Alexis. I think you've seen her before. She's the IFBB Wellness Pro. She's really good right now. She hit
Oh,
her Arnold stage. She got fourth place.
I know who you're talking about. Oh, really? Yeah, she's really good.
She's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. I watched her from the very beginning when she became a bikini girl and switched over to wellness. Like watching her journey was awesome.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you'll be learning from the best there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And her posing it's just killer. Like if you watch her posing, it's like she's so smooth with it.
Yeah, that's great. No, she is. She's really good, and she'll really be good. Oh, I got it. My 10-minute warning. So,
I see it too.
ah. Now I was curious, what advice can you give to up and coming bodybuilders who are looking for a good coach?
Do your research. Please do your research. Before you send the money to that coach, ask them a billion questions.
Mhm.
Even ask their clients if you see them post their clients on their page, just message them. They're not going to say, "I'm not going to tell you anything." No, they're actually everyone's very nice on the bodybuilding side.
Yeah.
And when I went through coaches, I asked a lot of their clients, and they would tell me the truth. They would share their feedback with me, and they're very honest and straight up, and I like that. So
Mhm.
always do your research, ask the coach many questions, reach out to the clients, and just, if you like the way, their clients look, then go for it, but always be careful because some coaches will just give you a cookie cutter plan and just take your money and not really give the effort and treat you like it's one-on-one. Some
Mhm.
coaches will treat you to one-on-one and that's what you truly want, just like communication is key. So if
Mhm.
anything happens during prep, make sure to ask questions or let your coach know what's going on. Just be honest.
Mhm. That's good advice. And I think that somebody one-on-one like that will look out for your health a little bit better too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because I know some people who have health problems and they haven't been like honest with their coach and the coach will give them certain foods or something and their
Mm.
body will just tumble. So it's always important that communication and honesty is key whenever you get a coach because so that he understands exactly what he's in for.
That's great. Yeah, that's really good advice. Thank you.
Mhm.
And you are a coach too, is that correct?
Yeah, yes, I'm a personal trainer online. I do lifestyle coaching mostly
Yeah.
because so like for me, for bodybuilding wise, it's very difficult to try to do bodybuilding with other clients. Lifestyle is very much easier to maintain and just kind of do my weekly check-ins with them
Mhm.
versus bodybuilders. Bodybuilders are like very high maintenance.
Yeah.
You gotta make
Yeah.
sure you gotta make sure that they are on track.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. How long have you been doing that with the lifestyle coaching?
I've been doing it for over a year now. I love it. Obviously, almost all my clients, they're great, awesome people. But yeah.
That's terrific. That's so cool that you're doing that. Um, and um, and you don't, and do you have room for more clients?
Oh yeah. I definitely do have room for more clients. About maybe 6 to 7 right now because I'm also a nursing student, so
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much onto me. And I'm like, okay, I got to do all of this. So yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing I was going to mention next was you're a nursing student at, I think, at USF, right?
No, so I got my undergrad degree at USF. So I got my biomedical science degree from USF, and then I go to Rasmussen University for my accelerated BSN program.
Oh, terrific. Okay, great. And is there a certain medical kind of specialty that you want to do after graduation?
So I want to be an ER nurse. I love the speed. That's basically what I do right now. But I'm just in the lab instead.
Hmm,
I just love the speed and the environment, the patients, and just helping everybody out. I just love it all.
that's great. That's kind of stressful though. You don't mind doing the.
No, I know. I think I'm just very used to the fast-paced environment, and being, really good under stress. So I love it. I just love the environment. I don't know. It's just something about that environment that just wants to keep me going.
That's terrific. I just have two more questions. I don't know if we'll be able to get them both in, but I'll try. What do your parents think about your bodybuilding career? Are they supportive?
They're very supportive. They've been to all my shows. And my mom was always like, "Oh, look how muscular you look." I'm like, "Don't be jealous." But overall, they're very supportive. They've always been there, and they support like all my dreams and my goals. So
That's terrific. That's so cool. Yeah. I know, sometimes bodybuilders don't get support from their parents because they think it's a little too weird or too much exposure or whatever.
yeah.
And I know you're relatively new to bodybuilding, but if you were like in a leadership position with NPC or IFBB, what would you do to improve the sport of bodybuilding or make the sport better?
Oh man, I think let it. I don't know. Actually, that's actually a really good question. Um, I think, a lot of people see bodybuilding as just a steroid community, and it's much more than that. I
Mhm.
don't, because I'm not on steroids,
Mhm.
and, it does take a while to build your body up to get to that standard. But I think it's a lot of encouragement, and the community is so supportive. It's so nice.
Yeah.
And you would meet amazing people there. I
Mm.
think everyone should just take a chance with them and really explore it, because you can get very far. You can meet amazing people, like I said. It's just great.
That's awesome. No, thank you. And well, we are running out of time pretty much. I really appreciate you coming on board, and your story is just really inspiring. And like I said, I'll mention your Instagram and your coaches down below and link to the articles or a couple of the articles about you, about your never give up, and then the articles about the attack and how
Yeah,
you fought back. But thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
of course. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. All right.
Thanks.